How am I going to build authentication for the API of my side project? Well, I'll show you. I'm building Asset Enrich, an API for a service to retrieve structured data on your assets, exactly how you want it under one roof. At a high level, the flow looks like this. A user visits our website and signs in. The user generates an API key, then they can use the key to authenticate requests to our API from whatever system they want. A simple idea, but it requires two things: API key management and API key support for the API itself. But before we can give someone an API key, we need to know who they are. And this is where Supabase comes in. After a user signs in, every request they make to my backend includes a jot. A jot is a signed token that proves who the user is and that they're authenticated. They expire every hour, but get automatically refreshed in the background if a user has an active session. So when a user hits my endpoint to generate an API key, I know exactly who's making that request. When a user generates an API key, we show it to them once, then store it, but never in plain text. Instead, we salt it, hash it, and then store only the hash value in our database. Users will then include their API key in a request header. If it's present and valid, the request goes through. If it's not, it gets rejected. Using this strategy means even if someone dumped our entire database, the values they get would be useless. This is just proper security hygiene. I've also added a few additional guardrails for API key management. First, users can only have one active API key at a time. Creating a new one automatically revokes the old one. Second, a listing endpoint so that users can see their active key and their revoked keys. Third, an endpoint so that users can name their key so they remember what it's being used for. And an endpoint so that users can manually revoke their key at any time. All of this is to make Asset Enrich safer without adding friction. Now I know what you might be thinking. What about rate limiting, usage-based pricing, monthly quotas? Those layers come next. But for today, we set the foundation for users to manage their own API keys and securely access the Asset Enrich API. And that's a major milestone we've achieved this devlog. I'll see you in the next one.